Everybody, shalom everybody, Rabbi Edelstein here with a very special multitasking edition of both Rabbi Ian 3D video and the Rabbi Ian 3 podcast. Yes, interesting circumstances this week that bring me to this supreme test. We'll come back to the concept of test of my technical prowess as I do a video and a podcast at the same time. But it's all meant to elevate, I hope, and illuminate your life as I share a few insights. Such a powerful way of looking at our lives appears in this week's Torah portion, Eikev, the third one in the book of Deuteronomy, or Devarim. And truthfully, the whole fifth book of the Torah, Devarim, is full to the brim with incredible overviews of life and the importance of life and the meaning of life, as we'll see today. And that's the very nature of the fifth book, because it's Moses, the greatest rabbi and prophet, and before his time, podcaster of all time, giving his final lectures to the Jewish people, inspiring them, exhorting them, chastising them sometimes like a parent, and getting ready to leave this world and have the Jewish people, his people, enter into the land of Israel. So the portion is Eikev. And here's an incredible verse that really is a series of verses, but one in particular, chapter 8 of Devarim, that really describes our whole lives and on every level. And it's not Hallmark cards, and there's nothing wrong with Hallmark cards per se. Well, we could talk about that, but this is the Torah. These are the words of Moshe Rabbeinu, greatest rabbi and prophet of all time. And he says, and it's in the singular. Sometimes the Torah, when Moshe spoke to the Jewish people or God, it's in the plural. And often it's in the singular. And there's a special emphasis when it's in the singular that every one of us is supposed to take this message to heart, not just in a collective sense. Moshe says, and it's at the end of the journey of the Jewish people in the wilderness, the end of his life as well. He says, you shall remember the entire road on which Hashem your God led you these 40 years in the wilderness, so as to afflict you, to test you, to know what's in your heart, whether you'd observe his commandments or not. And then it goes on to say you were hungry at times, and then he fed you miraculous food called manna, and you had other miracles you experienced. Your clothes did not wear out, your feet did not swell. There were many blessings, but I want to go back to that verse. You shall remember the entire road on which Hashem, your God, led you these 40 years in the wilderness, so as to afflict you, to test you, to know what's in your heart, whether you would observe his commandments or not. This, my friends, men and women, boys and girls, and everybody out there who's listening or watching, this is the essence of what life is. The Jewish people, literally in a historical sense, had this period in the wilderness. They left the land of Egypt and they were going to the promised land. And it was really supposed to be a very quick trip, but it turned into a whole journey of 40 years. And that was God's plan, obviously, though there were other things that caused it about in immediate time if you read the story in the Torah. But that is also the story of each and every one of us in our lives, from the time we're born from our mother's womb into this world until the time, hopefully after a long, happy, but certainly long and winding, and certainly long and challenge-filled life in this world when we leave and our soul goes on to the next world. That's the story of our lives. We're told here, just as the Jewish people, we're supposed to look back. Look back and appreciate the blessings that God gave them in the desert. The time in the wilderness was not just affliction, though there was affliction. There were blessings. Their clothes didn't wear out. There was a miraculous food called manna that the Jewish people complained about. There was water to drink, though they sometimes thirsted first, and that was part of God's plan, to afflict them, to see what's in their hearts, whether they would follow his commandments or not. But that's the story of each and every one of us in this world. You know, if someone was, putting, Olympics are going on, right? We wish the U.S. team well, but, if a coach wanted to put his star athletes through a rigorous training course, he'd say, hey, let's see what you're made of, and then throw at them every challenge in the book, right? Well, that's what God does to us in this world, each in our own way, each in our unique life circumstances. Let's see what you're made of, and let's see what you make of yourself. Because this life is so full of blessings, and we're supposed to remember all the blessings throughout our lives. But we have to also appreciate the challenges. The challenges are sent, not randomly do they happen. They're sent to afflict you. And afflict doesn't necessarily mean terrible bodily pain. The commentaries explain it means to make you less full of yourself and independent. Some challenge, some obstacle. It could be a setback. It could be, God forbid, something else. But it afflicts you in some way. It rips the gold medal, if you will, out of your hand, so to speak, takes you off a pedestal, and you realize your dependence, your neediness, your smallness in comparison with your dreams and with other things. And that's a good thing in moderation. And Hashem does it in moderation to afflict you, to test you, to see what's in your heart, to see what you're made of. Can you rise to the challenge? Can you keep your faith? Can you keep your strength? Can you keep your sense of doing good for others, your sense of purpose in life? I mean, all of those things, everything is a test in this world that's sent to us. Now, the word for test is similar to the word to elevate in the beautiful holy tongue of Hebrew, because that's the purpose of a test. It's an opportunity to elevate ourselves and everyone around us and the very cosmos, the very creation, with hopefully our good, righteous choices. When we choose well, when we do our best, when we don't lose hope and lose faith, and we keep going and keep smiling and keep doing mitzvot and deal with the challenges and the setbacks of life, we elevate ourselves. The test is for us. Hashem is not a teacher who wants to, he wants to give everyone A pluses, or at least and heavy partial credit. Want to do the best for each one of us to elevate and maximize our own potential. Let's see what you're made of, God says. And I want you to do great. I want you to make so much of yourself with what you're made of, with that spiritual capacity, that neshama, the holy neshama. Every one of us is a holy neshama put in a body with its own needs and challenges and desires and temptations in a world, an obstacle course. Let's see what you're made of. You're made of a neshama and an intellect and a sense of unique personality, unique mission. But let's see what you make of yourself in this, not obstacle course, but wilderness in the world, with plenty of blessings to appreciate and look back on all the time, and plenty of challenges. It's all a test, but it's all meant to elevate us. Every week is also kind of a journey through the wilderness. And we're supposed to take time, the rabbis say, before Shabbos, before the beautiful oasis of Shabbos, to look back at the week. There were blessings. Maybe your clothes did wear out on you, unlike the people in the desert, but there were blessings, there were good things, there were illuminating moments, there were beautiful moments, and there were struggles and challenges. And maybe you didn't, I know I didn't, necessarily rise to all those challenges, but they were tests, they were sent to elevate you. That's how we should look at all of our lives as a Jewish people. And we have so much to be thankful for as a people. We've not only survived, but thrived. And here we are on Facebook Live, together sharing words of eternal, immortal Torah wisdom. We're an amazing people, every one of us, Jew or Gentile, blessed with an opportunity to live in this world. We go through the wilderness, appreciate the blessings, appreciate the challenges, have a wonderful Shabbos. And hopefully we'll see you after a restful Shabbos and a productive next journey through the wilderness. Every week is a journey through the wilderness with Rabbi Ian 3 or 3D. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.